There were raids across India today from different parts of the country. There were raids carried out across India. In fact, let's listen in to some of the reactions that we got to the people who were raided.
अब देखा जाए तो बजरंग दल है, हिंदू सेना है और खुद आरएसएस है। ऐसी तमाम जो जमायतें हैं जो देश के अंदर, समाज के अंदर एक नफरत और घृणा पैदा करते हैं, उनके खिलाफ, सबके खिलाफ कार्रवाई होती तो लोगों को विश्वास होता है कि सही मानों में सरकार कोई कदम उठा रही है।
Those organizations who are spread communal hatred and spoil the harmony in the society, whether it is Bajrang Dal, whether it is SDPI, PFI or any other organization, let them take action on them, let them ban them.
बीजेपी का कोई लोग पर सीबीआई और एनआई ये छापा क्यों नहीं पड़ा? ये सब महात्मा गांधी और भगवान बुद्ध हो गए।
सतपाल जो हमारे गवर्नर थे, गवर्नर महोदय, उन्होंने अपने एक इंटरव्यू में एक दफ़ा नहीं बहुत दफ़ा कहा कि मुझे जम्मू कश्मीर में जब मैं गवर्नर था तो मुझे 2 फाइलें करने के लिए 300 करोड़ रुपए की ऑफर थी और उसमें बाज़ाब्ता नाम लिया कि आरएसएस का एक बंदा था और एक ऑफिसर था जिसका बाज़ाब्ता नाम लिया उन्होंने। तो आज तक ये लोग नहीं बता पाए कि उसके बाद क्या हुआ उनका, वहाँ रेड नहीं हुआ।
You know that the central government is using central agency in their own interest, mainly to suppress their political opponent. And this is not a democratic process. They are moving towards, you can say, their dictator.
Soon after the raids that took place across the country from West Bengal to Karnataka, there were chants of protests held at several locations. In fact, the PFI also hit the streets in Kerala, in Karnataka and in West Bengal. Meanwhile, the BJP says politics should not cloud an independent investigation.
PFI आज एक आतंकवादी संगठन है जो भारत विरोधी काम करता है। पूर्णिया को उसने अपना सेंटर बनाया है। उसकी प्लानिंग आपने देखा सुना कि वो भारत को पहले ही मुस्लिम राष्ट्र बना देना चाहता हूं। तो ऐसे संस्थानों पर अगर कार्रवाई हो रही है, दुर्भाग्य है जब फुलवारी शरीफ में PFI पर छापे पड़े तो जो पुलिस का वक्तव्य आया था वो निराशाजनक आया था। ये नीतीश बाबू, ये लालू बाबू, लालू यादव, ये लोग नीतीश जी तुष्टीकरण की राजनीति करते हैं।
So is this a case of political vendetta or actual action materializing against people who time and again, an organization which time and again has been found to be involved in multiple anti-national activities? Gargi Nandi Roy, political analyst, Namit Saxena, advocate, Ravi Shrivastava, political analyst, Ahmed Ayaz, lawyer, are all live with us. Namit Saxena, I'll come to you first. Where does this all go? Because we've had in Bihar and Phulwari Sharif, Mission 2047, PFI. In Karnataka, we've had members of the RSS being attacked, PFI. In Maharashtra, we've had PFI being named as an aggressor. In Assam, similar cases have been spoken of, but we only see raids. What next?
See, the role of PFI in all these, all these events, which you have mentioned. See, their role, their participation has come out. Now, to what extent their participation is there, this is a matter of investigation. So, as a matter of, NIA is empowered to do this. And this is in form of a terror hunt. So they are empowered to do this, and they are exercising their right to investigate this PFI, across the country, as to, because their branches are, everywhere. That is why there is a dedicated investigating agency to do it. So they are right in, conducting raids. Only after conducting raids, only after seizing the material, see, because Popular Front of India does not carry a list of members. It's a merger of 3 different entities, and now a political outfit is also there. So it is important to, first raid them, seize whatever material is available, and then carry on investigations. Of course, by, taking into custody certain people, so that they don't temper the evidence or temper the witnesses, etc. So right now, I think this is in the right direction, that raids are being conducted. Investigation, has at least commenced, whatever PFI has been doing across the country. And this is, in my view, a laudable step, in taking forward the investigation. And let the investigating agency take its course. We can't preempt as to, what they are going to do in future, because they may do multiple things. An investigating agency is empowered to do multiple things, including collection of evidence, including seizure, and, so conducting, other searches also, taking into custody, etc. So I think this is an independent investigation. There is nothing, political in it, because PFI is not a political outfit as such. So let these investigations carry on. At least.
So Mr. Shrivastava, time and again people come and say that if PFI is a problem, you take action against it. Now it's happening. Now what's the problem? So Aam Aadmi Party, you take action against it, becomes political vendetta. Congress, you investigate. Young Indian case becomes vendetta. Now apparently even in PFI, if action is taken, it becomes vendetta. How?
Question is free?
Yes, Mr. Shrivastava.
Yeah. See, Padmaja, here whatever appears is last 3 years we are hearing PFI doing this, PFI doing that, PFI is involved in the terror activities, and PFI cells are there, etc., etc. But what has been proved till date? Now this appears to be a one-sided, biased, discriminatory action by arresting some 106 people across 11 states. I'm not against this action. The action should be taken, but none of the PFI people have been convicted till date. No money trail has been found till date. Now still they say we want to interrogate, we want to investigate, we want to do this, let them do it. But point here is that if you call it a communal organization, so is the RSS communal organization, so is the VHP communal organization, so is the Bajrang Dal communal organization, Sri Ram Sena is a communal organization, no raids happen among them. The Karnataka, what kind of terror they are doing, everybody sees. No action is taken against them there. So why single out the one particular organization and say like this? I remember a case that July 21, some 2 people were caught in Lucknow for making the pressure cooker bomb, and they said they are Al Qaeda members. Till date, nothing has proved, and no action has been taken. So just to make a show before the elections that we are going hammer and tong on a particular outfit, etc., etc., I think this does not.
Gargi Nandi Roy.
They should have solid evidence. And
how do you know they don't have solid evidence?
Where is the solid evidence to show something?
Show you. They'll show it to the court, right? Mr. Shrivastava, they'll show it to the court. They won't. The NIA will not come on Times Now and show Ravi Shrivastava what it is that they have recovered. They have the remand note. They have got recoveries which have happened today from Kerala to Karnataka to West Bengal, and they will produce it before court. You've got 103 people who've been arrested. You do know that when they are produced before court, there will be absolute evidence that is shown by the agencies. Gargi Nandi Roy.
Yes, Padmaja. I think this comparison is absolutely a false equivalence between RSS and PFI. RSS does a lot of social service. Mostly Ravi Shrivastava ji doesn't know that the number of schools RSS runs, the kind of service RSS has given during the COVID time. RSS Pracharaks live life of monks. Okay, you don't even know. Okay, so many schools with the tribals, they are working. And now I'll come to PFI. I don't know why Congress is trying to protect PFI today. See, Mr. Shrivastava, radical Islamism is a menace across the world, especially in democracies where they take advantage of democracies and try to subvert the very democratic principles. Okay, so and worldwide it's a menace. From Kerala, how many people went to ISIS? And Padmaja, now Congress is trying to protect PFI, drawing equivalence with RSS. They're saying Congress's Chief Minister Oman Chandi in 2012, BJP was not in power in centre. Do you know what he had said in Oman accused of murder, rioting, intimidation, and having links with terrorist organizations. It is nothing but a resurrection of the banned outfit, the Student Islamic Movement of India, in another form. So this was said by the Kerala government under the Congress, where the PM was Uman Chandi in 2012 when Mr. Shrivastava, BJP, was not in power. So, and Achyutanandan, the left leader, he also had said that PFI wants to change Kerala into an Islamic state. And fund, it has been proven, fund is coming from Middle East. Say the Delhi riots, say the anti-CA riots.
Mr. Shrivastava.
This hijab thing, everything PFI's name is
Madam,
come.
you are
The
quoting
girls
so
were
many
wearing
instances. I am asking a simple question.
The
Why
girls were
an action
wearing
was not taken against them? Why were they not put behind the bar?
You know,
Why
this is
not
very
be-
strange.
why
Mr.
were-
Shrivastava,
why were they not
I have to say that if there is one evil that you cannot be faulted for, it is consistency. When you had the arrest of Anil Deshmukh, you came on TV and you said, why has Anil Deshmukh been arrested? When Nawab Malik was arrested, you're like, why is Nawab Malik being arrested? Now when PFI people are being raided and arrested, you're like, why is no action being taken? They have been raided and arrested. Now what do you want the government to do? Hang them today to satisfy you. And eventually, if anywhere tomorrow they'll be convicted, you're like, why have they been convicted?
That's incorrect.
When they are not arrested, you're like, why are they not
That's
arrested? When they are
only-
arrested, you're like, this is witch hunt.
That's only an intimidating tactics. What is happening in case of Satyendra Jain in Delhi?
How do you,
What is happening
okay,
is-
so how in your book,
ED
if
wants
somebody
to
is
take the
supposed to
judge
be
now.
investigated,
They could not produce
for it
any
to not be
evidence
called
in
intimidation?
Last 4 months.
Mr.
In last
Shrivastava,
4
okay.
months, they could
So
not
there is a
produce
misdemeanor. There is a misdemeanor, okay? There is money laundering apparently which has taken place. If you were the Prime Minister of India or the Home Minister of India, how would you have that money laundering investigated without it be seen as a witch hunt? How?
I will finish up the inquiry within 3 months.
Within 3
This
months.
is what I will do.
Namit
Within 3
Saxena.
months, I'll do, and if the person is convicted, I'll hang him.
Oh,
This is what I will do.
you will hang him
I will
for
not
money
do
laundering.
political-
It's a good thing then you are not the Prime Minister. If you start hanging people for money laundering, then half of the population of India will be hanging by the
Go
flagpole.
to jail. Go to jail. Hang means go to jail.
Hang doesn't mean
what
go
I
to
mean.
jail. Hang means hang.
Hang-
First you are writing the IPC, now you are rewriting
Hang
the
means
dictionary
go to
also,
jail.
where hang means go to jail.
Okay.
Namit Saxena.
See, I counted 5 self-goals by Mr. Shrivastava and thereafter I stopped counting. You know, if it goes, you know, as for Mr. Shrivastava, you'll keep on comparing apples and oranges and, you know, you'll reach no logical conclusion whatsoever. See, this basic argument of scuttling the investigation at the threshold, you know, is completely baseless. You can't say that the investigating agency has now started investigation. Oh, no, this is political vendetta. Everything for them is political vendetta. You know, we should stop all investigations across the country, wherever investigations are happening, because all of them are political vendetta. This argument is completely baseless and completely futile.
Let us have
So I wonder how Mr. Shrivastava is going to hang them and write another IPC. I don't know. I will not comment upon his powers of observation on criminal law, but this is absolutely incorrect.
I want to ask Mr. Shrivastava, do you think that global terrorism is a menace? It's a threat not only to the world, but it's a threat to our national security. Do you think so? And what is this? This is this Salafi, Wahhabi Islamism, which we see through PFI. Do you agree that?
No, madam, please
I think,
do not link the global terror
I think
with the
that
Indian
also
terror.
is
Whatever
political
is happening,
vendetta by Mr.
Indian
Shrivastava.
terror is two sides. There's a right-wing terror and the left-wing terror.
There is no
Both are
right
here.
terror. Don't try
Both
to.
are
There
here.
is no.
Why? What happened
Let
in the
me tell you,
Malegaon?
Rudresh was killed in
What happened
Kerala.
in the
Rudresh,
Malegaon?
RSS worker
What
was
happened
killed.
in the Malegaon?
Okay,
Are you
Joseph's
aware?
hand was chopped. See,
Was that
Joseph,
not-
Professor.
was that not a
Give me
terror?
one example now. Give me one
Was that
example
not a
of
terror?
RSS kind of terror. Rudresh, I'm saying Rudresh was killed. RSS work in Kerala. So many RSS workers have been attacked.
You go to
Joseph's hand was
Karnataka
chopped.
and you see the
And
terror
just now,
by the
BJY worker in Karnataka was killed.
You know,
There's so much.
Mr. Shrivastava, had it been about only one case, we are talking about Praveen Nettaru in Karnataka. We are talking about, by the way, let me remind you that there has been police from non-BJP states who have gone and made arrest, which includes the police force of Chhattisgarh, Jharkhand, West Bengal, who have made arrests of PFI activists for being involved in anti-national activities in their state. And yet you keep going on and on and on about BJP vendetta. You just had Gargi Nandi Roy quote the example of a CPM chief minister. They are all accepting that there are these activities by the PFI. Why, Ahmad Ayaz, are you still choosing to live in denial about it? State polices have acted against them. You've had non-BJP states acting against them. What's the problem then?
I see it's a matter of investigation. Let the investigations be done and let the law take its own course. But here the case is that, it should not look to be harassing Muslim organizations and Muslims, because in the past certain things have happened, like bulldozer action against the Muslim properties, and then the madrasa in Assam, and then the surveying in the madrasas.
What does one have to do with the other?
Feeling to all,
they are all separate incidents. One is just a survey.
You see, in totality,
this is action.
In totality,
Mr. Ayaz, why are you doing the disservice of connecting or equating the PFI with Indian Muslims? The PFI doesn't represent all of Indian Muslims, neither do all Indian Muslims support the PFI. Why are you making this very, very disparaging equivalence?
Padmaja, you'll have to see in totality, because you see...
But there is no totality, sir. Why are you making that equivalence?
Where it is
to say
seen
that
as...
This is, this is as uncharitable as saying that the day that you hung Ajmal Amir Kasab, you did an anti-Muslim move. No, you didn't. The man was a criminal. The man was a murderer. The man was a terrorist. He is not a Muslim. He is a terrorist. These people are criminals.
Padmaja, we are in favor of a fairness. It should be fairly done and with full proof.
Who will decide if it is being done fairly or unfairly, sir? The court will decide, right?
In the past, it looks that as if it is going against the Muslims.
How?
That's why it should not look to be harassing to the Muslims and the Muslim organizations. That's my point. See, it has to be full proof. We never say that action need not to be taken. Let the action be taken. Let the law take its own course.
But the law is literally taking its own course. And you are calling it harassment.
It should not be a manipulated one.
How do you know it is manipulated? Give me one example of how you have today decided that today's raids are manipulated. Give me one example. One piece of evidence.
You see, I tell you, there is already a feeling that it is all against the Muslims.
Oh, there is a feeling.
Actions have been taken sight.
Then you should implead yourself in this case.
Let me tell you,
and go before the judge and say, sir, I feel that this is not fair.
Tell me, Padmaja.
Sir, the law doesn't work on feeling.
What had the school done in the madrasa, done in the Assam? If the madrasa owner was responsible for something, why the madrasa was demolished?
Because it was standing on government land.
Dismantled. The man should have been arrested. The action should have been taken against the owner.
It was made illegally on government land. The two are not related. Gargi Nandi Roy wants to respond.
Only the Muslim madrasas and the Muslim properties are illegally done?
No, but they are not.
No,
that is why there are others also which are demolished. See, again we keep going. The thing is that if you want to give a spin, you will keep going round and round in circles.
Tell me how many have been
back to arguments which have already been discredited. And that is a problem, sir. If you want to argue about demolition happening, it is happening across the board.
No,
if you want to talk about fairness, give me evidence to show that this is unfair. And unless you do, when you say that I feel this is unfair, that is not based on the law or legality. That is based purely on spin doctoring and your own politics. Anyhow, I will leave it at that. Thank you very much, all gentlemen and Gargi Nandi Roy, for joining us. This, of course, is just the beginning. If such a pan-India crackdown has happened, there needs to be very, very solid evidence to back up the charges that are being levelled against the Popular Front of India.